What we found in your room justified all our fears. How long have you been reading these horrid books?
That old black magic has
That's right.
that old black magic
Relax and close your eyes.
The door opened, as though being pulled by some unknown force.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be another sort of like, I don't know, foundational, kind of brief, kind of vague discussion on meditation and the things that I do to meditate as a practitioner of the occult and magic, and why it's so important to me. So I'm going to be briefly discussing all of that stuff in like little snippets as I go along. I hope you didn't mind that weird edit that I put in at the beginning of the video, because I wanted to just show you guys like what a normal round, a normal session of meditation basically looks like from, I guess, from other people's point of view of what I normally look like. It's nothing special, it's nothing fancy. It's not aesthetically pleasing or anything. I literally just roll out my yoga mat or I meditate on the bed with my AirPods, and I just sit there and just focus my intent on something, or focus on a particular symbol or a word or a phrase, which is why mantra, toward the end of that clip, which you saw me like moving my lips around, I was actually reciting mantra that day. And again, the idea of reciting mantra is the idea that you're focusing your intent on something and sort of putting your intent and your wishes out into the universe, and you're being able to, especially from a Buddhist point of view, you're tapping into both the inner and the outer worlds of your body, soul, and mind, to hopefully manifest whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. I'm going to talk about meditation. I'm sitting in my bed, so that's why it's a bit kind of awkward, and I'm using like a selfie stick to kind of hold the camera up because my arms are killing me. But anyway, meditation. What is meditation good for? Meditation's good for a lot of things. It's a massive concept, and yet it's not. It's also a very simple practice. You're literally just stopping whatever it is that you're doing and either standing, sitting, or sitting zazen or whatever, and you're just focusing for like a few minutes. You're not doing anything. You're literally not doing anything. That's ultimately the goal of meditation, and that's what I find so both profound and kind of deep, but also kind of like, really, that's literally it. Meditation is important for a lot of reasons. For those of you who are magical practitioners, meditation is a way of grounding yourself before and after, especially after you have performed some kind of magical act. So whether it's a ritual or a spell, or you're channeling when using tarot, or channeling when contacting spirits, whatever. Meditation is one of those aspects of spell work and spell development and magical development that you need to practice. Don't look at meditation as this thing that you have to do, like it's a chore. It should be something that you should be doing because you know that spiritually and also physically, it's just healthy for you. It's healthy for your body. It's healthy for your mind. It helps you focus. And it brings that sort of sense of awareness, but also gives you that sense of mindfulness and discipline along with your own personal practice. Even if you're not really much of an individual who does a lot of magical practice, but you love the theory aspect, the idea of trying to live more holistically in life, trying to have a much more cleaner lifestyle, cleaner diet, cleaner aspects of your home and things like that. Meditation, again, is one of those things that should be part of your daily, if not your weekly routine. You don't have to meditate, like, especially when you're starting out with meditation or you're already experienced with meditation. It doesn't really matter what your level is. You don't always have to meditate at an altar, sitting on a yoga mat or a cushion or a chair or whatever, and you have to be sitting there chanting and doing mantra and whatever. You don't have to do that. The idea, like I said, is a very simple one. You're just sitting down, you're not doing anything, you're just living in the moment, you're being more mindful of everything around yourself, anything going on inside yourself, because the idea of meditation, especially from a Buddhist point of view, is that connectivity and raising that awareness and connection between the inner and the outer worlds of the self, as well as the world outside of you. It's trying to allow you to become one, being more mindful. I know that sounds like really hokey jargon that I've just thrown out there, but that's ultimately what meditation is. It's just taking a moment to yourself to just breathe and just focus. Meditation is helpful for a lot of things. Like I just said, like with all the spiritual aspects just there, it's great for everything. But also on a physical level, it's really great for relieving stress, relieving anxiety, helping you walk into a situation that you know that you would normally have a very negative reaction to. You can stop yourself and just take a few moments, just breathe, just kind of become one, try and calm yourself down, and then you can just go into that situation with a slightly clearer head than you would have had, say, a couple of minutes beforehand, and you probably would have ended up blowing up. Meditation is great for anger management. Meditation is awesome. It's really profound. It's really deep. It's really great. It's really easy. A lot of people also shy away from meditation because they feel that too many thoughts coming in and out of their heads. That's fine. We're humans. We have brains. Our brains need to function. More than just keeping us upright and just keeping the blood pumping and keeping organs going and stuff like that. The brain also has to make use and understanding of the languages that we get to hear every single day. It has to process everything that we experience in the outside world as well as the inside world. That's how you learn. That's why you dream about things at night, because your brain is just trying to communicate to the rest of your body that it's okay. Whatever you did that day, I'm processing it. It's good. So when you're meditating, don't beat yourself up because you're thinking about things or thoughts are coming in and out of your mind. It's completely natural. Let those thoughts come and go. It's natural. Before you know it, you'll be able to sit down and just think about those thoughts and be present with those thoughts, which again is a really good way to circumvent how those thoughts keep coming in and out. If you're actually present and actually focusing on those thoughts for a little while, you're still not doing anything. You're still not moving around. You might be thinking about the shopping list. You might be worrying about the kids. You might be worrying about bills. You might be doing all that kind of stuff, but you're still taking a moment to yourself to breathe. And once you come to that realization, once you realize, oh, hold on a minute, these are just thoughts and I'm just thinking to myself, meditation will be so much easier after that point, because then you're removing that element of pressure and stress from yourself. If those thoughts come and go, it's totally fine. It's totally natural. Don't go against them. Work with them. And then before you know it, your practice becomes even deeper and deeper, and it's great. Yeah. Meditation is just great, guys. Meditation is amazing. I love it. I swear by it. I love it. And I highly recommend it. Like for any situation, any and all situations, but especially if you happen to be a magical practitioner of some kind or another. Meditation is important. Meditation comes in various different forms as well. It's not necessarily, like I said, where you're just sitting down and with your eyes shut. That's not always how it happens to be. There are moments, for example, when you're doing a really simple spell, you're casting a circle and you have to visualize and imagine certain elements of the magic coming to you. You have to imagine the energies around you. Or if you're just trying to go to sleep at night, again, which is more to do with the idea of holistic living, if you're just trying to go to sleep at night because you have issues, you might find a nice simple self-hypnosis technique to help you get to sleep. Again, you're visualizing the white light from the top of your head working its way down your body, and you can feel it in your eyelids and you can feel it in your cheeks and your neck, and it's working its way down. That's also a form of meditation. I mean, ultimately, it's basically hypnosis, but I will explain hypnosis at another time. We do have a podcast episode on it, so we have a primer on hypnosis. If you are interested, I'll put the links down below. But those are forms of meditation. You can't escape meditation. Even the days where you're not really thinking about having a spiritual moment or anything like that, you're just out and about, you're at work, you're running around after the kids and whatever, and for some reason there's nothing really going on, and you just suddenly decide, I'm just going to stand here for a minute and just think about stuff. Not really doing anything. You're not going to react or do anything that you're thinking about. You're just taking a moment, just watching the kids while they play in the park or something, and you're just taking a moment to yourself to just breathe and just be in the moment. That's meditation. Meditation for me is where I put my intent out into the world. I connect my inner self with the outer world. I put my intent out there. It inspires me to continue living my life the way that I should want to live it. And it just gives me a moment to focus on whatever it is that I'm trying to work towards. So ultimately, that's what meditation is for me. It's just a very easy practice. And you don't need anything. You don't need any tools or anything like that. You just need the self. And that's it. But let's move on to the next bit. There is one particular technique that's also really handy when learning how to meditate, or if you're just meditating in general, so it doesn't really matter what your level is, like I said, and it's what you do with your eyes. You don't have to concentrate so much on your eyes. You can just be completely relaxed. The most common form is to meditate with your eyes completely shut. That way, some people find that it's a lot easier for visualization techniques if they can't actually see anything. They've got everything shut. That's totally cool. It's the most common way. It's the most popular way. And it's the way that most gurus, Buddhist monks, teachers, you name it, they will teach you, psychotherapists and stuff, they will teach you the same thing. Just close your eyes, count to whatever so you can shut down your body a little bit, and then focus on the breath, and then you're good to go. Another really fun aspect is meditating with your eyes open. So sometimes a lot of people say that they find that their concentration and their focus is usually helpful if they usually have something directly in front of them, like a book, a crystal, a candle, you name it. That usually helps. Other people don't like using tools, but they will sit zazen and just keep their eyes open and just focus on whatever happens to be in front of them. Again, that's completely normal, and it's also very incredibly popular as well. The reason why those two particular practices with their eyes are so incredibly common is because the idea is that you're just taking a moment, you're being present in the moment, and that's it. So you don't even have to worry about what your body is physically doing either. So that's why I say you don't have to be sitting down or sitting zazen or anything like that. You can literally just take 2 minutes on the train while you're standing there, and you can just have a moment of just kind of staring out into nothing, focusing on the breath, and just kind of having a good moment of meditation. One other aspect, and this is something that I found a lot of newer people to meditation years ago found actually to be very helpful. I mentioned years ago in a video where I was covering a lot of Buddhist topics that I wanted to sort of discuss back then, and certain aspects of Buddhism that I incorporated into my own personal practices, was the idea that you haven't got your eyes completely shut, but they're not open either. They're kind of at that halfway point. You basically relax your body as physically as you can to the point where your eyes are kind of just, your eyelids will kind of drop to like a halfway point. You're not really looking at anything in particular. You're just kind of focusing for a moment, and you're just kind of in the moment. You focus on your breath, obviously, and sometimes when you're doing that, you're so relaxed, you don't even need to visualize, because sometimes you can't. You're just so chilled out in that moment. You don't need to worry about visualization or anything. You can just be there, be present, and you're good to go. So that's really handy. So those are 3 techniques that you can sort of like try out and see which one you prefer, which one is the hardest for you, and then you might want to practice that one a little bit more. So those 3 techniques, just to remind you, are keeping your eyes shut, keeping them open, or having them at that halfway point. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because like I said, once you start getting deeper and deeper into your meditation practices, it becomes really personal for you, and you could do eyes shut on a Monday, eyes open on a Tuesday, and then just be completely chill for the rest of the week. It's totally up to you, and it depends entirely on the situation and the moment that you happen to decide that you want to sit and meditate for. So again, no pressure. Sometimes, however, I do like to use tools, but again, it depends entirely on the working that I happen to be performing at that moment. It doesn't necessarily mean that everything that I want and I wish for from the universe I have to do in the form of ceremonial magic or through a spell or through a ritual or anything like that. Sometimes just sitting down and just meditating on whatever it is that I want and putting my intent out there, and again connecting my inner self to the outer self and the outer world, is enough. It's completely enough. You don't need all the tools all the time, but sometimes it can be handy. Sometimes it can really add that sort of extra element or that extra potency to your working, and I find that to be incredibly helpful. 2 of the tools that I tend to use the most, besides using candles and scents and things, are crystals, which I kind of lump under divination, because I use crystals and or tarot, or I use both at the same time to get those sort of like meditative messages and lessons that I need to learn. This is one of my favorite crystals at the moment. This is a moonstone that I got from Steve Earthkeeper. I will see if I can get links and put them down below. I'm sure he's fine with that. I'm not sure. I'll ask. If it's not there, it's because I haven't asked. But he's a good friend of mine. He's known me for like the past 10 plus years. Like that's how long I've been on YouTube, guys. But this is one of my favorite stones at the moment. My most common stone that I often do a lot of meditations with, and I've been doing that since I first started getting into holistic living and then spiritual practices, is a quartz crystal. It's my absolute go-to. It's my favorite. It's a crystal that's just, it's a jack of all trades. It does everything. Stores negativity, but puts out positivity. You can use it in place of other crystals and other things. It's just an amazing crystal. So quartz, if you've never done any kind of meditation before, but you want to try with any kind of like crystals, I would say start out with a clear quartz or whatever crystal happens to draw you towards it. But quartz is kind of like your go-to. It's a really great crystal. I'm not going to sit here and like talk about how amazing quartz is. That'd be a whole other video. One of the other things I tend to do is I recite mantra and I use mala beads. I don't use mala beads every single time I recite mantra. It's only sometimes. I've never worked with these ones before. These are made from turquoise. You can get different kinds. This is my husband's one because mine are all over there and I can't be bothered to go get them. But I find that using mala beads to be incredibly helpful when you're reciting mantra, especially from the Buddhist aspect. Now, one thing you do need to know, if you do have mala beads at home and you're not really quite sure how to use them, I will try and do hopefully something toward the end of this video or another video with a bit more detail about how to use mala beads. Do bear in mind that a lot of mala beads do have about 108 beads on them. The idea is that you're supposed to recite mantra at least 100 times, and then the extra 8 beads are merely there to sort of help you rectify any mistakes that you might have had along the way, which is something that's also quite common. You won't always get your 100 repetitions of mantra absolutely perfect every single time. There are going to be days where you haven't really focused on your breathing properly and you might end up skipping 2 of them. But those 8 at the end will be kind of helpful to kind of help you rectify that before you then switch the guru bead around and then go back the other way. So mala beads are very, very, very important. Meditation it's just a really great tool. I mean, you could use it for self-care. You can use it just to sort of like alleviate stress, like I said before. Meditation is just something that you should really incorporate into your practice. And if you've never really done it before, or you've done it in the past, but you don't do it consistently, it's something that I always say, just give yourself 5 minutes. Just give yourself 5 minutes as and when you can, and just practice. The more you practice it, however, for those of you who are a bit more serious about your magical practice and developing a little bit more, and for those of you who want to learn and understand hypnosis a lot more, meditation is going to be something that you're going to have to learn to sort of practice and get much deeper with as time goes. But you always start out with that ideal goal, which is 5 minutes. Just give yourself 5 minutes. And then before you know it, you can push that 5 minutes to 10 minutes. Then that 10 minutes can go to 15 and 20 and so on. You just do it for as long as is comfortable for you. You can do it anywhere. Like I said, you don't have to be sitting down on the ground with your legs crossed or anything like that. You can, like I said, you can just be standing up and doing it. You can just be laying down in bed and doing it. You do it at the end of every yoga routine or every yoga practice. The teacher will get you to lay down on your back, legs and arms akimbo, completely relaxed, and you're kind of allowing yourself to go into the ground. That is meditation. So it's really, really good for that stuff. There's a lot of things that I would like to do with meditation later on. Like I briefly mentioned there, hypnosis. Hypnobirthing is one of those things that I'm wanting to look into because I find it to be incredibly interesting. Hypnosis in general is quite an interesting topic, and how hypnosis correlates to magic quite a bit is a very interesting thing for me. So I want to explore that a little bit more. Most of that exploration and learning we will be covering over on my podcast, so I won't be doing it as much on this channel, but as and when it does pop up, I'll let you guys know. But it's just a very interesting thing for me. So for self-care right now, and just for keeping me kind of like happy and sane and positive and feeling good, meditation is just incredibly important for my practices anyway. But in the future, who knows what else I could apply meditation to. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about meditation for now. Thank you very much for watching. And a quick note for those of you who are probably wondering that you've posted comments in the past, but I never replied. I've only just discovered them. I forgot that many years ago, I set all of my comments to hold for review, and I completely forgot. That's how long I haven't been on YouTube or uploading anything. So I just found them. This is like 4 years old. Oh my God. It's like a 4-year-old setting that I just didn't change. But I have seen comments. I'm replying to most of them. And obviously from now on, any comments that are posted will be posted automatically. So they'll be there, and hopefully I should still get like notifications and stuff from Google, YouTube. So that'll be absolutely fine. You guys can just post away and comment and whatever, ask questions. I'll be here. It's good. I'm back. I'm back now. But yeah, so I think that's everything. So all the important links that I want to cover about meditation and a couple of helpful articles that I did find, I'll post them down below. Yeah, so I think that's basically everything. So I'm just going to show you guys the card of the day, and yeah, I think that's it. So thank you all for watching. Hotep. Card of the day is the Ace of Cups. Pretty fitting. This card is from the Modern Witch Tarot. Sorry, I'm looking at like random stuff. Modern Witch Tarot deck. And this is the Ace of Cups, which is pretty fitting for today's video. So it's a video for new people, but also kind of like a re-video for older folks who know who I am already. So this is kind of a fitting card. So what you give is what you get back. It's new beginnings, new fulfillments, new journeys, new challenges that you can set up for yourself, new goals that you can head towards, and just maintaining that level of positivity and health. Anything else that you guys want to read into this, it's totally fine. Let me know down below. It'd be really interesting to see what your thoughts and feelings are on this card. But yeah, I think it's pretty neat. Ace of Cups. No question of the day.